another ESPN analyst seems to hop on the New York Knicks bandwagon, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel from Knicks Digest, and I want to get right into today's video. So yesterday on NBA Today, we had Austin Rivers, Kendrick Perkins, and the host Chiney Ogwumike talk about the New York Knicks, and specifically they were talking about the injury bug that the Knicks are going through right now and how they're missing all these different players and how the upcoming games is going to be a real important stretch for the New York Knicks. But I want to focus on something that Austin Rivers actually said. He brought up the topic of Jalen Brunson always being in this conversation about, is he a 1A type of player? Is he a 1B type of player? And Austin Rivers himself, when he started talking during this segment, he said that Jalen Brunson is the best player on the Knicks basketball team. I do want to express my frustration with another analyst bringing up the 1A, 1B type player conversation because if you're a hooper, it's kind of like organic. Everybody knows who's who. Everybody knows who's a star. Everybody knows who's the second best player. But like, it's not really talked about. It's just something that happens organically. But the media, of course, we have to put this narrative out about whose team is it, who's the best player, who has the leadership, who has the control. And then obviously sometimes all that noise leaks into the team, and then all this the divisiveness comes into play. Luckily, the Knicks it looks like they don't have that. But even though I do want to express my frustration with Austin Rivers bringing up that narrative, with all the injuries that the Knicks are going through right now, I'm recording this on a Thursday morning, and they're going to play the Philadelphia 76ers. And the players that are going to be out for the game, we got Julius Randle, of course, with that dislocated right shoulder. We got OG Anunoby, who's still out with that right elbow surgery that he had to remove a bone spur. Mitchell Robinson, who's been out since December with the left ankle surgery. All these players are out, probable, and that are available tonight. We got Dante DiVincenzo, which is definitely good news because of his hamstring injury. Isaiah Hartenstein is still probable, and Bojan Bogdanovic with the sore left calf is probable. This is the perfect opportunity for Jalen Brunson to put the team on his back and to quiet down the naysayers who have him in this conversation of being the second best player on the team or being a really good player, but a championship team can't be really built around him. So tonight is going to be the first test against the Philadelphia 76ers, but I actually wanted to take a look into the next 5 games that the Knicks have, because we don't know exactly when Hartenstein is going to come back, Bogdanovic is going to come back. Dante, good news, he's available for tonight, so it looks like he's a go. We don't know when OG is going to be coming back. So let's take a look at the schedule. The first game tonight at Philly, in my opinion, I think we should get this W with Joel Embiid being out with the meniscus tear. The Philadelphia 76ers have really, really good role players, Tobias Harris, and being led right now by the first-time All-Star Tyrese Maxey, who's going to be an absolute problem the more experience he gets in the league. Congrats to him for making his first All-Star game. But after the Philadelphia 76ers, then we're going to be at home against the Boston Celtics. So, to be quite honest with you guys, I think this is going to be an L. If all those players are still out and we don't have our team at full force, Boston Celtics, they're just too much. The talent and the duo of Tatum and Brown, you know, Tatum is making that really, really big leap this season. He's had interviews with Malika Andrews where he's put himself out there saying that he is the best player in the league. I like seeing that type of confidence from a really good player, talking his stuff and letting it be known that, you know, he is the best player in the league. I really like seeing that from Tatum. It lets me know that the confidence level that he has himself is immense right now. And right now, all he has to do is put it together in the playoff and make a nice deep playoff run. But all in all, that's probably going to be an L. After that, we got the Detroit Pistons at home on Monday, February 26th. That should absolutely be a W, even though we're not going to have all our bodies at full strength. That still should be a W. The Detroit Pistons right now, they're in a rebuilding phase, retooling, whatever you want to call it. Shout out to our guy Quentin Grimes, who got traded over there. So we will get the reunion of Quentin Grimes and the Knicks. After the Pistons, we got the New Orleans Pelicans at home on February 27th. Now, this is an interesting game because obviously we got the whole Zion Williamson narrative and the whole storyline of like, will he ever embrace being the next face of the NBA after KD, LeBron, and Steph step down? As far as the whole face of the NBA conversation, I believe the league is literally trying to hand it to 3 people. They're trying to hand it to Zion Williamson, Anthony Edwards, and Ja Morant. Now, 2 of those 3 are having self-issues. Ja Morant with his whole gun issue, Zion Williamson with his whole weight issue, and then there was that whole thing with the woman that he was dealing with this past summer. Adam Silver and the league are trying to hand it over on a silver plate to those 3 gentlemen. Ant-Man, who is also dealing with his own personal stuff, but on the court, Everybody has high praise for him, saying that he's an absolute killer on the floor. The talent and the skills that he has possessed in a short period of time is second to none. And seeing Anthony Edwards from afar, like I think it's his third or fourth season. He's already had the playoff experience. He already knows what the intensity is like in the playoffs. He knows how to get through the regular season. He has his own shoe deal with Adidas. Like, this guy is just marking all the boxes with the check mark. And only time will tell if Anthony Edwards is going to be the best player in the league in the next few years, which I think will happen. But going back to the New Orleans Pelicans, that, I believe, is probably going to be an L. Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, the talent on that team is immense. I don't understand why they haven't really been able to put it together. Maybe it's because of Zion, and he hasn't really fully embraced his role on that team. Well, he needs to be the best player on the team in order for that team to succeed. But the Knicks playing against the Pelicans, again, don't know if if OG is going to be back. Julius Randle is probably more likely not going to be back. Mitchell Robinson obviously is not going to be back. But OG Anunoby, Isaiah Hartenstein, like Bojan Bogdanovic, like these players can be back. And if they are back, then my outlook on the next 5 games is totally different. And then the last game of the next 5-game stretch, we're at home versus the Golden State Warriors, February 29th. Now, this is also an interesting game because prior to the All-Star break, literally up until maybe the last 4 or 5 games, the Golden State Warriors, they were really in a really, really bad situation. Klay Thompson did not look like himself. Steph Curry was literally doing everything by himself. And they had pieces. They drafted that rookie, Pajimski. They also have Jonathan Kuminga, his talent is ridiculous. It seems like they're starting to put things together. Klay Thompson, the last few games prior to the All-Star break, he had really good games. I believe he had a 30 ball against the Utah Jazz. Jonathan Kuminga, ever since he called out Steve Kerr in the media, saying that Steve Kerr doesn't have any faith in him, and he's pretty much been balling out. He's answered the call. So, of course, having said all that, they put the pieces together, playing the New York Knicks, and the New York Knicks, we don't have all of our available bodies. So this game, I don't know. It could be a win, it could be a loss, but if I would put my money on it, I would say it's probably a loss. Steph Curry is arguably top 3 best player in the league right now. This goes back to Jalen Brunson and what Austin Rivers said at the beginning of the pod, that this is a perfect opportunity for Jalen Brunson to unequivocally establish himself as a 1A type player in the league. And for the next 5 games, if he is that dude, we're not going to get a 1-4 record. We may get a 3-2. We may get a 4-1. We may get maybe even 5-0. I highly doubt that. But the next 5 games for the New York Knicks is definitely going to be very interesting, depending on the bodies that we have available. Let's see if Hartenstein misses only 1 or 2 more games. Bogdanovic as well, 1 or 2 more games. Dante DiVincenzo is available for tonight, so that's good news. OG Anunoby is probably going to miss a few games as well. So we'll see what happens. Slowly but surely, I think we're getting more media to jump on the bandwagon of the New York Knicks. It looks like Austin Rivers is jumping on the bandwagon. And the driver of the bandwagon, we got Kendrick Perkins, who's been a solid NBA Jalen Brunson supporter since the beginning of the season. So shout out to Perk. But yeah, as the season continues, hopefully we got our players back. Hopefully they're back and healthy, and we can make a really good run towards the end of the season. Develop that chemistry, develop that camaraderie between OG, Mitch, Julius, Bogdanovic, Alec Burks. Because Julius and Mitchell Robinson, they haven't played with the new guys, so it's going to be a completely different team when they come back. But that's it for today's video, guys. I want to say thank you for checking it out. Remember to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of Austin Rivers' comments towards Jalen Brunson. But until next time, you guys know the drill. You guys know the vibes. Taj Gibson for president, Jalen Brunson for regular season MVP and finals MVP. And of course, we out. Peace.